Okay, so what about those of us who are supporting people in our lives who are going through a hard time? So that is a process in itself, isn't it? So maybe you're taking care of a sick loved one, or you have a close friend who's depressed or struggling with something. A lot of us sensitive folks tend to be those who are also often supporting others. So when we are supporting, wanting to be there for our partner, a family member, a friend, or someone we care about, there are some things to keep in mind that can be very helpful and useful. So I have three simple tips or suggestions for those of us who are taking care of or supporting others who are struggling right now. The first one is to learn to listen. Let's take a deep breath there. Whew, learn to listen, right? It is my experience that very few people are good listeners. Um, so it's really, really important when we're supporting a loved one to really learn how to listen. And that means a lot of times just opening our hearts and our minds so that we can fully receive what the other person is needing to transmit in that moment, in a way that feels good and feels safe for that person. So it's important to be able to kind of set aside our judgments or our ideas of how they should handle the situation, and be able to just simply open to that kind of empathy that allows us to understand and feel that other person's experience, right? So this is like compassion and empathy. It's not like that we want to take on what the other person is going through, because that's not really that helpful, but we want to be able to receive and open to understand as much as we can, because maybe we don't completely understand. Maybe there are things that people go through that we're like, I don't know why they're feeling like that. They shouldn't feel like that. They don't need to feel like that. Our mind has all kinds of ideas, right? But if we want to be helpful to the other person, the best thing we can do is kind of set aside those judgments, set aside any criticism that might come up, set aside any feelings of this is the way, and instead kind of an open receptivity to what the other person is transmitting. Just kind of imagine like your heart is open and you're just receiving their feelings, their experience, their view, without the filter of your judgmental mind. Because that's what really a lot of times people need more than anything, is just to be seen and felt and heard. We talk about with nervous system regulation, this idea of co-regulating, simply being there for another person, and holding space, which is the second tip or suggestion for helping to support others who are struggling or going through difficulty. Just holding space, that is super co-regulating, which means that when I'm able to kind of stay centered and calm and relaxed and at ease with another person who's struggling or freaking out or scared or crying or whatever it might be, suffering, if I can kind of keep myself in a regulated state, just my presence alone is going to be a huge gift and a huge help to the other person. So that is the third tip, is take care of ourselves, right? So let me go through step 2 and 3. So holding space is number 2, and that's just really, here I am. I'm here for you. I'm here for you. I'm here for you. I'm open and receiving you. I am present with you. I'm not thinking about what I'm going to say or what I'm going to do or what I'm going to tell you. Instead, I'm just really just here. Here, I'm here with you. No judgment, no advice even. Sometimes advice is appropriate, especially if someone asks you for it. But a lot of times it's not. I feel like people have a habit of giving advice. And a lot of times it comes from, a good place, like where we want to help people. We want to help them find solutions to their problems. And there's nothing wrong with that. That's great. But oftentimes, even though we may have good intentions, what is perceived from the other person is, you're telling me how I should be doing this. Basically, you're telling me that the way I'm doing it is wrong. And often when people are going through hard times, they already feel bad enough about themselves. They don't need to feel a reinforcement of, you're not doing it right. This is the way you should be doing it. Well, what you should do, maybe we don't say should, maybe we say could, but still that energy can be transmitted of, why don't you do this? Or why don't you do that? Or have you tried this? Or have you tried that? Okay, sometimes that's good. Like I said, when the other person asks for it, but other times that can be perceived and received from the other person as confirmation of they're not good enough. So be careful with your words. Be careful with your words. Be mindful of what you're saying, how you're saying it, your body language, how you're transmitting, what you're transmitting, the tone, the moment. Is it the moment for that person to hear that? Or really is it the moment to maybe just hold space, ask, how can I help you? How can I be here for you? How can I most, help you in this moment? Do you want a hug? Do you just want me to sit here? Ask more than tell. Open, hold space means I'm here. I'm here. I'm not judging you. I'm not pretending I know more than you. I'm not pretending to have all the answers. I'm not pretending to fix you, right? A lot of times it can come across as you're trying to fix me, which means I'm broken. Thanks for confirming that I'm broken, right? So that's not the way to help someone that we love who's going through difficulty. Better to be an open, loving vessel of presence, right? Third tip. Sorry, I have an itchy nose. Okay. Third tip. Take care of yourself. Take care of yourself. It can be a lot to support people we love and care about. It can be intense. It can be challenging. It can be draining. It can feel heavy. It can be, it can be hard. So that in itself can be a hardship for us, having, especially if we're taking care of a loved one who is sick or going through some kind of major depression or anything, right? So be really mindful and present with you. How are you feeling? What do you need to be supportive to this person? Don't overdo and over give and over drain yourself. You can't, if your cup's completely empty, then you can't help that other person, right? So make sure to be aware of how you are. And again, what I was talking about before, this idea of co-regulating. Are you regulated? Like a lot of times I notice when someone I care about, especially, or my clients sometimes when they're telling me things that are happening inside of them or in their life, a lot of things can happen. Because I'm highly sensitive and an empath, I can start to go into the feeling that they're having, and I can almost start to fuse with it of I can feel that fear. I'm feeling that fear. Now I'm feeling that fear. I'm feeling anxiety. So luckily I have lots of tools and practice of learning how to re-regulate myself. So when I start to feel that, I know when it's happening, and I know how to then bring myself back to center using my breath, relaxing my body, feeling my connection to the earth, deepening my breath, kind of coming back into that place of calm. I know how to reconnect to my own sense of calm. And I have to do that over and over again when I'm working with someone or when I'm, with a friend or loved one, so that I don't get fused with what they're feeling. And also sometimes what they're saying could be triggering for us, right? So maybe they're saying something that we completely feel like is not true, or our mom used to say that, or our teacher that was always mean to us used to say that, or I don't know. Excuse me. Sorry. So maybe it's like we're triggered by what the other person is saying. So then we start to get tense and tight and blocked, or our nervous system gets activated, our fight flight, and we're like, no, 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 because no, don't say that. You shouldn't say that. That's not true. And then the other person is like, whoa, not helpful. I mean, sometimes it can be helpful, like someone we love maybe needs a little bit of tough love sometimes, like to be able to say, you know what, not okay, not true. But that is definitely not always appropriate, and maybe not usually, right? Because that kind of energy when someone is struggling is often not going to help them to feel safe, to feel confident, to feel able, to feel loved, which is really what most people need when they're going through a hard time. So be aware of how you are. Make sure you're as okay as you can be. If you need to take a break, if you need to go for a walk, if you need to go and do some breath exercises or some movement to help, calm and re-regulate yourself before you continue trying to help that person. So those are three simple suggestions for supporting people who are going through a hard time around you. Hope that it's helpful. Hope that it helps. Let me know. I would love to hear from you. And just also remembering that it's beautiful to be able to support people we love, and it's important. And just the fact that you are trying and that you care, that's enough, and that's a lot too. So we don't have to do it perfectly. We're never going to do it perfectly. Acknowledging the gift that you're giving by just trying to help and trying to be there for someone. So thank you. Namaste.